Hey y'all, you're back here with John, and we're working on a hot tub issue. So we got a hot tub from one of my wife's coworkers for free. I had a supposedly broken pump or two pumps, and that should have been the easy fix and all good. So long story short, actually only had one pump had an issue, but we've had it for 3-4 years now, and I'm going to show you how to diagnose a flow error switch issue. So previously we got this issue and our filter was clogged. That's usually the simple fix, change your filter if you got a flow error. But if you don't, you got to quickly take a look at the flow switch. So this right here is your flow switch. So I actually had to rewire all this because when we transported it, I unhooked everything for safety. So this wire goes all the way down here, comes up, and right now it's unhooked right here. But it did hook up where I've got this little jumper right here, which I'll explain in a minute. So what you need to do with this end right here is you gotta take a multimeter. So once you've got your multimeter, you're gonna set it on that little, looks like sound waves, you wanna call it. And so right now, my hot tub is on and running because I've got that jumper in. And the flow switch should close. So right now, I've got an overload between my leads, and that means it's an open circuit. So if I close these, so I got no hands here to do this. Give me a second. So if I do this, I get zero resistance. So that's good. So the flow switch, the way it works is it closes the contact. So right now, my flow switch, let's try again. The hot tub's running, and I've got it running with the water. So when you look at that, I'm touching these two ends, which is bad, but not a great image there. But I still have an open circuit. So how you can diagnose some of this as well, so if you see this flow switch in here, see how the fan, the paddle is touching this backing right there? So if you've got that, that means you've got proper flow. One time when my filter was clogged, this little thing was sitting back here, and that means you don't have enough flow, so the heater won't turn on. So what I did, which this is not a permanent fix, you need to buy a flow switch. I put a jumper between the two terminals that these were plugged into, just to see if it would actually turn on and run. And it does turn on and run. So, and the flow error goes away. So I know that my flow switch is actually bad, and they're like 25 bucks on Amazon. I mean, you can buy the real one for like 60 or 70 from like Sundance if you want to. I think something like that. But yeah, so then it comes with the whole housing, and you just remove the plastic hose and the barbs and change it out. I actually might try to unscrew the actual flow switch itself, because those barbs have been on there since 2005. And chances are I'm just gonna rip the tubing, which I really don't feel like doing. So yeah, that's how you would diagnose a flow error. Basically, if you can't get continuity between the those two leads, as long as the paddle is, or the fan is all the way, or whatever it is touching that backing plate, then you know you should have continuity. So yeah, that is a flow error on a hot tub. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Hey y'all, I wanted to fill in a few gaps because it's been a while since I made the video, and I was getting around to actually editing and doing it. And I feel like I could explain a couple more things. So I did install that new flow switch. I screwed it in. Water does come out rather quickly, so I would have it ready with pipe tape and everything ready to rock and roll. The new flow switch actually doesn't touch that vertical little stopper. So what you can do to test it, though, just because to learn something, when you get the new flow switch in, put the two leads on on your multimeter, and then just hit that with your finger, right? So open and close it, see the continuity go to 0 ohms, so you have no resistance, you have a closed circuit, and then let it go back open. And just confirm that, just to kind of learn something, and then you can see how far the paddle has to go. I kind of didn't expect that little paddle to not go all the way on the new flow switch, so I apologize for that. And then I forgot to explain those leads that are actually on the hot tub, the wire that goes into that black connector. So there's very, very small detents, like in the side of the black connector that you have to press down. You're gonna need like a pick or a paper clip or something small to push them down, because they're the retention for the pin. So once you pull that out, or sorry, once you push that in, then you can pull the pin out. And then of course, dry your connector, make sure you know where the pins are, take pictures, and then then you can put those back in. But it's not that bad. Don't be worried about it. Just and if you're having to pull really hard, it means you haven't got the detent out. Like they don't stick in that hard. And that little jumper, just so you know, I did that because that closes the circuit, says it is good to go. If you actually have a flow problem, that's really not good, because you're gonna burn up your heater. You're gonna have all this other stuff. Like, I didn't have a flow problem. I knew I didn't, because I had a new filter. I was making sure. And my paddle was all the way touching, so I knew the flow was actually good. But that allows you to get your hot tub running if you need it. We needed it running for a bit. But what that does then is, once it gets all the way heated, because typical hot tubs, they won't heat when there's no flow, because it's worried about burning up the heater. When it goes too high, it then also throws a flow in. Sorry, when it gets back up to temperature, it throws a flow switch error, because it's turns off its pumps, but the flow switch is still closed. So then it throws a flow switch on the high side once you're all heated up, and it can't, it's not turning off. So it's not turning off. So just keep that in mind. That is the downside of what I did there, but it got us back up to temperature and got us working if we wanted it to. So, but again, Amazon has those flow switches really, and I mean, readily available, and it took me legitimately all of like 20 or 30 minutes to actually swap it out. That's with like getting the wires back wired up nicely and stuff. And we got a few little wasps mess around there, so I was swatting those guys away. So it was it's really not that bad. Anyway, I just wanted to update that. I know, sorry for the crazy hair, but hopefully that helps. And you guys have a great one. Thanks for watching.